What do you mean by microservice? These are all monolithic applications. Now suddenly why microservice came into picture? Again, we will open Paint and draw and understand. Okay, this architecture. Service. There are two kind of application architecture. Okay, there are two kind of application architecture. So, if suppose your developer is being given, I want my website to be built. LWP Lab Store. In this website, I have suppose login page, product page, and payment page. Catalog. Okay, and suppose payment. So these three pages are written separately by three developers. Okay, so developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. So very good, they are writing this code. Now once they write all this code, okay, what they will do, they will push it to GitHub, remote repository. This is what we have understood. Okay, so think that all these things you already know. We are talking about application architecture. Okay, yeah, discuss about application architecture. So there are, to design this application, okay, what you can do, you can build all these pages together, means one artifactory, one output. This is your one output where your login is also there, catalog is also there, payment is also there. All the three are there. Now you know that this method is good. Okay, what will you do? You will merge all and you will get one WAR file. You will install here suppose WebLogic or any software, because see, I have to run this particular WAR file, right? If you have to open Microsoft Word document, if I have to open this document, suppose this Ansible document, I need Microsoft Word. Similarly, if I need to open this WAR file, which is my Java file, maybe this is written in Java, think that if you have to open this WAR file, okay, which is the merged product of all this developed code, then I need some software. The software can be WebLogic, can be Tomcat, can be JBoss. All these are softwares, right? So you need Microsoft Word for opening Word document. So you need WebLogic, Tomcat, JBoss to open WAR file. Why? Because this provides JVM, Java Virtual Machine, where this is going to be running. So WebLogic, Tomcat, JBoss is that particular software which will run this. So what will you do? You will copy it here. Now you will have one more application above it, or just will not go in depth there. And you will say that your customers, he no problem access this website. So your customers will access the website. Directly they are accessing. Think like this. Okay, this is having different architectures. Okay. And how to access your application, there are 200 architectures for that also. We will discuss that later. When we understand this module 4, you will know that how can customer access your application, how many ways are there. We will see that. For now, we are focusing on this. I'll just, okay. This developers writing the code, merging into one, and this var file will be copied here. Can anybody tell me what is the, what do you, what do you mean by copying of this thing, the final product, to the server?
It's called deployment.
Deployment, right? Very good. It's called as deployment. This you need to understand. Those who have not understood earlier, now you should be understanding it. Feed it in your brain. This is called what? Deployment. So this process, copying of code, final product, the artifactory, we call this as artifactory. To here is called what? Deployment. All these keywords should be clear to all of you. If you do not understand this, very difficult to become a DevOps engineer. Later, to work, it will be very difficult. Okay. So now, developers, artifactory, it is not our work. Okay, developers will do. Is this our work? Okay. Is this our work? Yes. Okay. And then this is running. Now you have here how many customers? Think this is 50 customers. Okay. And there are few more customers here. Okay. So 50, 50, 50. So total 150 customers are there. Now here in this var file which is running here in the JVM, there are multiple layers, right? First, if this customer tries to hit the website, the first home page will come, which will ask for login. Then they will be able to go to catalog. Then they will be able to select the catalog and pay the money, right? So we can actually divide this into 3 layers. First will be login, catalog, payment. Now, if suppose there is a bug in payment, or this developer did some change he has done now, and he has not done testing, or the testing was not done correctly, and the artifactory was deployed to server. Now this payment is having a bug, because of which these customers are going to log in, but select the catalog, select the product from a catalog, but then they will not be able to pay. So this is buggy. Okay, this layer is buggy. Because this layer is buggy, what you have to do? Again, this developer will do some change. Again, this whole var file will be created. It will take some time. Okay. If it is a very big environment, it will take more time. Okay. Again, everything will be built. These developers didn't do anything. They were good. These modules didn't change at all. But still, you have to build the whole. And then complete LWP labs will be coming here with the corrected payment. So this is called monolithic application. Here, if you see, these all modules are tightly coupled with each other. Okay, this is not microservice architecture. Here it is tightly coupled with each other. Why we are doing all these things? because we have to run. So now we have not divided all these modules in separate artifacts. Correct? So your director will say that, boss, what is happening? I want my this this mess actually cost me around, okay, $1 million. You took around half an hour. In half an hour, my $1 million business was there. Okay, and my $1 million was lost. They can say anything, right? As per their past data. If that the customers will purchase or not, that is immaterial. They will say it is my loss. Now he will say, if payment is a problem, why you are not allowing customer to log in? Why you are not allowing customer to select the product? And then they will go for payment, right? So at least allow them, show them the page. Otherwise, they will go to another company to purchase. So how can you achieve that kind of architecture? That if any one module is impacted or affected, only that module will be problem. Also, there are 3 modules, right? Maybe login, to write a login, I require, suppose, I think that my UI login will be written in PHP. Catalog will be written in Python. This will be only written in Java. How can you do this? You cannot achieve by this way, this method, monolithic. Again, there are more customers coming. So I need more resource for this login, right? Because I know that people will be coming and using, or will be staying, suppose, more in catalog page. So I need more resource for catalog. But if you give more resource for everything, so without, so even if nobody is there, this particular environment will be using that much resource, maybe 16 CPU and 32 GB RAM it will use, and it will waste. Even if we don't have that much of customer, still it will use the same amount of resources. So how can you save that? Okay, all these answers is this: Dockerizing, containerizing, microservice. Okay, so what we can do, we will have a separate architecture. I'll just expand this in a form of microservice. I'll run, okay, we have to draw another one. Okay, so we will have, suppose, one server only, where we will have this login, and this, in this server we have created a layer. In the server here, this is not server, this is server. The application we had layer. Here we are in the server we had. Okay, so this is your login, catalog, payment. This is written in PHP. This is written in Python. This is written in, suppose, Java. So this will be login.php, okay, catalog.py, and payment.y. And with this container will be created. With this container will be created. This container will be created. This microservice will be created. This is one of the microservice. Microservice will use container technology. Okay, means In a server, you think one more small server. Okay, this is one of the server. Inside this server will also have one private IP. Okay, this is my server. And inside this server there will be one more container that will have one more network. Now you know that network is so much important for us to know. Everything you will be only doing. There is no storage team, no network, no Unix, no DB. No DBAs are there now. That's why mainly DBAs are moving. They are every time scared. See, I was also a DBA back in 2015. I also moved my career. You also have to move your career. There will be no DBAs. There will be no Unix administrators. Everyone will be called as DevOps engineers. Okay, one single umbrella. Fine. So this will be your PHP container, or we call it as suppose login container. Now this login container is a PHP one, it's Python, it's all immaterial. It's a packaged application. Okay. If you are working in IBM, means there are multiple jobs in IBM which will be called as packaged application engineer. Okay. They call that role only like this. So why? Because they know that okay, this packaging. So we will package the application into a container, into an image, and then we will start it. Now it runs PHP, Python, Java, whatever immaterial. I'll just start it. That's it. I'll just start. It will start, and customer will be able to see. Okay. I'll just start. Now this is Python. This is Java. If my more customers are coming to log in, what will happen? If more customers are coming, this container will not be able to attend the traffic, right? So what we will do, we will create more containers. This is all login kind of containers. If more customers are trying to see the product, but at least less than login, because the login will be more, right? I will create 3. And payment though it will be very less. So I will be having 1 only. So I can distribute my resource based on specific module, specific objective which we want, right? So this is the microservice architecture which we'll be discussing in our class. So this is having very good documentation. Okay, activity guide I will give you. So every product, every class will have this, but then Docker will be having very good activity. It's a very lengthy topic, Docker, Kubernetes, but still I'll try to give you all that much exposure. See, like this, from installation to explanation to creation of image and all, everything we will be having with a documentation. Somebody was asking what is Artifactory. Let me take some questions before we move into another architecture diagram. Okay, so this particular project is mainly useful for the developers who wants to develop and test things in their own server, generally in companies like Amazon, Oracle, okay, where the developers will be there. They will be given their own server for doing their unit testing and all. Okay, so what they do, they create this kind of architecture for their own when they build a product, right? So they don't want, they are only working like a DevOps engineer. They will create all this kind of CI/CD model for them. so that they can have the unit testing and all those things integrated. Okay, see, this is one, there is one more advantage here. What? We can rule out that particular thing, that okay, this is not my system, this is your system. Here in this case, developer in their own local machine, means in their own laptop, they can create container with the help of this image. Okay, this image is having this artifactory. Artifactory is nothing but Bunty. Artifactory is code. Code means अगर मैं आपको बोलता हूं कि आप एक मेरा वेबसाइट बनाओ, तो आप जो कोड बनाओगे वो है आर्टिफैक्ट्री. okay, जो फाइनल कोड बनेगा, that is artifactory. From this diagram, car is artifactory. These all are manufacturing parts, all assembled. Car is my final product which is ready to go to showroom. This is artifactory. Okay, fine. I think it is clear. So this project is very useful for developers. Now we will understand how to have microservice architecture, but then there will be high availability in it. Means I will not have only one node. If this node is down, somehow this node is down, this, everything will be down. All these customers are impacted. My company's revenue got impacted. So I will not have my website, like my website. Okay, if you see this website will not have only one server. Okay, if one server is there, if that is down, everything will be down, right? So we will not create this site like this. We'll have multiple nodes for it. This is having an architecture for high availability. If this node is down somehow, I will have another node which will serve the traffic. Here also we have containers running. Okay, and this customer who was coming here, this will break and he will automatically come here. How will you do all these things? How will you manage your containers? With the tool called Kubernetes. So Kubernetes or Docker Swarm is a tool for container orchestration. Okay, for container management in multiple nodes, different high availability. Okay, I hope this is also clear. This also we will be achieving with the help of one CI/CD process. We'll do this complete cycle. This is production grade architecture. Customer base is increasing, pods will increase. Okay, Ansible is going to deploy, everything will be smooth.